Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the political circus tent, welcome back to our show, the only show where the clowns don't wear red noses, they wear red ties and sit in Parliament. Now, buckle up, grab your tin foil hat and maybe a cuppa, because today's topic is both utterly terrifying and tragically hilarious. Yep, we're talking about the escalating tension between the UK, Russia, and the US, you know, that small matter of potential nuclear war. Putin's response is, as expected, terrifying. Let's start with Keirstarmer, our favourite man with the charisma of a damp mop and the foreign policy of a Cold War comic strip. Recently, Starmer took a jolly trip to one of Britain's nuclear submarines. He popped on a navy jacket, struck a few heroic poses, and thought, this will show Russia we mean business. Because nothing says peace like standing next to a missile designed to erase countries from maps.
We've just come off the Vanguard-class submarine to see the team. They've just been on a tour constantly at sea, part of our nuclear deterrent, and it was the opportunity to say to them at the end of a long patrol, welcome home and thank you for the incredible work that they've put in keeping our country safe.
We've seen less posturing from North Korea. Seriously, if we're copying Kim Jong-un's PR strategy, something's gone terribly wrong. What's next, Keir? Riding a horse bare-chested like Putin? It's painfully ironic, isn't it? For decades, we mocked these dictators for their performative military theatre, and now we've joined the act. Bravo, Britain, we've gone from tea and diplomacy to tea and trident.
Thanks, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, should Brits prepare for nuclear war?
Say that again.
Should Brits prepare for nuclear war?
Look, there's irresponsible rhetoric coming from Russia, and that is not going to deter our support for Ukraine. We have stood with Ukraine from the start, and I've been doubling down in my clear message that we need to ensure that Ukraine has what is needed for as long as is needed to win this war against Putin.
Here's the serious bit, hidden beneath the bunting and buffoonery. Starmer's stunt isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. This isn't the 1940s. You don't restore peace by showing off your nukes like a peacock on steroids. You restore peace by talking, by negotiating, by not threatening to turn the world into a radioactive puddle. But here we are, engaging in macho missile measuring contests with countries that genuinely don't care about consequences. And how is this helping Ukraine again? Anyone? Because from where we're sitting, this isn't getting us closer to peace, it's pushing us closer to annihilation.
And we've also always been there backing each other up between our two countries. That is why this is the greatest alliance for prosperity and security I think the world has ever seen. Whenever necessary, we've absolutely backed each other up, and that's at the
Could you take on Russia by yourselves?
Well...
Keir's submarine flex isn't a strategic deterrent. It's playground politics with nuclear consequences. This isn't Churchill, this is Jolly the Clown with a warhead. If nuclear war breaks out between the UK and Russia, even with the USA backing us up, the result is the same: total mutual destruction. There are no winners, only shadows. Our cities, gone. Our future, vapor. Our national anthem, probably just someone coughing in the fallout.
정보가 울렸습니다.
and yet our leaders parade around like they're playing Risk on a rainy afternoon. Do they really think they'll get to sit in a comfy bunker while the rest of us are left to barbecue in the nuclear breeze? The only button Keir should be pressing is the one marked "Call Moscow and talk this out," not the one that goes boom.
Your predecessor, Jeremy Corbyn, said that his ambition was to see a nuclear-free world. What's wrong with that?
The nuclear deterrent has been effective now for decades. It's the single most important part of our armoury to protect our country, and that's why I'm so committed to it. I do want a safer world, but it is important to appreciate that deterrence and safety go together. They're two sides of the same coin.
Politicians these days are like clowns let loose in a fireworks shop. You know something's going to explode, you just don't know when. And Starmer? He's trying so hard to look tough, but it's like watching Mr. Bean try to defuse a bomb.
If the circumstances arose, Britain was under attack, would you be prepared to push the nuclear button?
Well, the nuclear deterrence is the ultimate threat. And therefore, of course, the deterrence only works if there is a preparedness to use it.
Even if it means potentially killing millions of people?
The deterrence only works if there's a preparedness to use it. So that is a clear answer to your question.
And as for diplomacy, it's vanished faster than an MP's tax records. It's all about optics now. Who looks the strongest? Who can wave the biggest flag? Who can ride the metaphorical missile hardest? And in the middle of all this theatre, the people, us, just want peace. We're not asking for miracles, just a bit of sanity. A leader who doesn't think standing next to nukes makes him Churchill 2.0. Most Brits don't want another war. We've had enough. We're not impressed, Keir. We're worried. And you should be too.
They should eventually understand that we also have weapons, and they know it. I just said it now myself, weapons that can hit targets on their territory. Everything that the West is coming up with now, what they threaten the world with, it can result in a conflict with the use of nuclear weapons, and therefore the destruction of civilization.
Let's bring back diplomacy. Let's be the grown-ups in the room. Because if we keep marching down this road, waving missiles like sparklers on bonfire night, we'll all end up in the dark. So what do you think? Are you feeling safer now that Keir has taken his nuclear selfie? Or are you, like many of us, feeling like the adults have left the room and handed the launch codes to clowns? Let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts. Are we on the brink of disaster, or is there still hope that common sense might prevail? Like this video if you believe in peace over posturing. Subscribe if you want more honest political commentary served with a side of sanity. And remember, the world doesn't need more muscle flexing, it needs more handshakes, fewer missiles, and a few less clowns in charge of our survival. Until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and for the love of all things British, let's get to peace, people, before the clowns hit the big red button.